My in-laws offered to help decorate our new home. I thought they meant throw pillows. They showed up with a moving truck, full of their old furniture. "It'll feel more like family this way," his mom said. My husband started unpacking it. I started repacking. My husband and I just bought our first house. It's a modest two-story place outside Chicago, nothing fancy, but it's ours. We worked our asses off to afford it. Late nights, skipped vacations, cut corners everywhere. For years. So when we finally signed the papers and got the keys, I was excited. Not just to live there, but to finally make a space our own. I'd been pinning decor ideas and mood boards since before we were married. I had a vision, clean lines, light colors, maybe a mid-century couch, some plants. Just something that looked like us. Then his parents offered to help decorate. They'd been supportive, mostly. His mom, Susan, always had opinions, but she hadn't overstepped too much during the wedding or anything major. So when she said, "We'd love to help you decorate," I figured she meant suggestions. Maybe shopping together. Maybe she'd bring over a painting or two from her attic. I never imagined a truck. A full-ass moving truck. They pulled into our driveway the first Saturday after we moved in. No warning. Just parked in the middle of the street and started unloading. I was standing in the doorway with my coffee, in pajama pants. Hair a mess. Totally not ready to entertain, let alone host an unannounced delivery. Mark, my husband, rushes out the door like a little boy on Christmas. "Mom, Dad, you didn't have to bring all this." Susan smiled like she'd just given him gold. "It'll feel more like family this way," she said. Then she looked at me. "Wait till you see the settee." I didn't even know what a settee was. Spoiler, it's an ugly couch. Beige with faded pink roses. Looked like it had seen at least 2 cats and a great flood. I didn't say anything at first. I thought, okay, maybe 1 or 2 pieces. Maybe we can tuck them into the garage, say thanks, and quietly donate them later. But then they started carrying in more. A huge wooden cabinet. A worn recliner that still smelled like cigars. A full dining room set, like with 8 chairs. A coffee table that was chipped on all 4 corners. And decor. So much random decor. Ceramic roosters. Doilies. Framed cross-stitch sayings like, "Live, laugh, love, and bless this mess." I pulled Mark aside in the kitchen. "What is happening right now?" He looked sheepish. "They said they wanted to surprise us." I didn't know they were bringing everything. "Mark," I said, "this is our house, not their storage unit." "I know," he said. "Let's just let them unload today. We can sort it out later." That later never came. Because the second they got everything inside, Susan started rearranging. She had a vision too, apparently. Only her vision was stuck in 1987. She moved our couch out to the garage and replaced it with the floral settee. She told me my area rug was too modern and rolled it up. She hung a framed photo of Mark from high school right in the middle of the living room wall, next to a picture of their wedding day. Every time I spoke up, she brushed it off. "Oh, you'll get used to it. Trust me, this is classic style. This is what makes a house a home." George, his dad, just followed her lead. Carried everything where she told him to. Didn't say much. That night, I sat on the floral couch in a house that didn't feel like mine. My legs stuck to the fabric. I couldn't stop looking at the rooster figurine on the mantel. I said nothing. I was too tired to argue. But I didn't sleep. The next morning, I woke up early. Before Mark. Before they came back. And I started packing. Not just 1 or 2 things. Everything. I started with the recliner, dragged it back out to the porch. Then the weird cabinet. The doilies. The roosters. All of it. Every single piece they brought went back into the truck they'd left in our driveway. Halfway through, Mark walked in rubbing his eyes. "What are you doing?" he asked. I didn't even stop moving. "This stuff is going back. They'll be upset," he said. "I don't care," I said. "This is our house. Not theirs. Not a shrine to their old furniture." Then Susan showed up. She saw the porch full of furniture and froze. "What is going on here?" she asked. Voice tight. Eyes scanning the pile like I'd burned it all. I appreciate you bringing this stuff, I said, keeping my voice as calm as I could. But this isn't going to work. We want to pick our own furniture. Our own style. That's what moving into a new house is for. This is your style, she snapped. It's family style. We're family. No, I said. It's your style. And you already had your house. She looked like I slapped her. Mark stood there. Didn't say a word. That silence? That was worse than anything. He just stood there, between me and her, not picking a side. Eventually, she turned and stormed back to the truck. Did she cry? Maybe. Did I care? Not in that moment. I kept packing. I didn't care how mad she was. I didn't care how awkward the next family dinner would be. I wasn't going to let her bulldoze me out of my own home. What I didn't expect was how long the fallout would last, or how far she'd go to try and make things right in her eyes. So, after I hauled everything back out to the driveway and made it crystal clear that her furniture wasn't staying, things got weird. I thought Susan would cool off. I thought Mark would finally see how much she was stepping over the line. But no. Instead, the guilt game started. Texts from Susan, I was only trying to help. I guess my taste just isn't good enough anymore. Tell Mark I hope he likes cold, empty walls. That's what you wanted, right? I just wanted my grandchildren to grow up around family things. Not some IKEA nonsense. First of all, we don't even have kids yet. That line? That one sent me over the edge. I didn't reply. I figured silence would send the message. But the next time we visited her house, Mark insisted we keep the peace. I walked in, and it was like stepping into a passive-aggressive art gallery. She had set up a corner of her living room with all the stuff I returned. And above it, a little sign that said, "Things we loved once." Dead serious. That was the sign. Mark saw it and just kind of laughed. Like, awkwardly. "She's being dramatic," he whispered. "No," I whispered back, "she's being controlling." Then came the real twist. She made a key. Yep. Mark had forgotten to change the locks when we moved in. He thought it wasn't necessary. "It's just family," he said. One day I came home from work and noticed the couch cushions were moved. Not a lot, just off. The throw blanket folded differently. The mail was stacked in a neat pile. Weird. I asked Mark if he'd come home for lunch. He said no. So I checked the doorbell camera. Guess who? Susan. Middle of the day. Just waltzed in, like she still owned the place. She spent an hour inside. Didn't steal anything. Didn't break anything. Just moved things around. Rearranged the fruit bowl. Adjusted the living room throw pillows. Moved my books off the coffee table. That night, I showed the video to Mark. I expected him to freak out. He didn't. He rubbed his face and sighed. She probably just missed us. You know how she is. No, Mark. I know how she is. The question is, do you? I demanded we change the locks. Right then. He hesitated. I'll talk to her, he said. I don't think we need to go that far. So you know what I did? I changed the locks myself. Next day. Called a locksmith, paid with my own money, and texted Mark a picture of the new key. That night was the first real fight we had since moving in. You're cutting her out, he said. No, I said. I'm protecting our space. She's my mom, he said, loud. And this is my home, I snapped back. And I'm not letting your mom rearrange my life every time I leave the house. We didn't talk for 2 days after that. 2. Then came the next blow. A family meeting. Yep, Susan called it. Like we were kids who needed discipline. She invited us to her house for dinner. Said George was grilling. That it was important. I didn't want to go, but Mark begged. Just hear her out. Let's try to reset things, he said. So I agreed. Worst decision. We get there. Normal at first. Awkward small talk. Burgers. Potato salad. Then Susan pulls out a notebook. I'm not kidding. She opens it and says, I just wanted to make a few suggestions for how we could all feel more comfortable moving forward. I looked at Mark. He looked like a deer in headlights. She started reading from the notebook. Number 1, consider blending styles. Maybe keep the settee for sentimental value. Number 2, family visits. Susan should have a key in case of emergencies. Number 3, hosting holidays should rotate between houses, but Susan will take Thanksgiving because she has the proper dining setup. I stopped her right there. This isn't a negotiation, I said. You're not in charge of our home. I'm just offering solutions, she said, all fake sweet. No, you're offering control. Then I stood up, pushed the chair back, told Mark, you can stay and play house if you want. But I'm done pretending this is normal. He followed me out the door. Silent again. Did we talk after? Barely. Did he see what was happening? I'm still not sure. But here's what I do know. I wasn't done fighting. Because what happened next? That was war. So after the family meeting disaster, we left. Quiet car ride. Real quiet. Mark didn't say anything. Just kept his eyes on the road, hands gripping the wheel like they were the only things keeping him grounded. When we got home, I told him point blank, this ends now. No more furniture. No more secret visits. No more Susan playing landlord in my house. He nodded. Said, okay. That's all. Just, okay. No fight. No defense of her this time. I thought maybe, he finally got it. I was wrong. 2 weeks later, I came home from a work trip, only 3 days away, and walked into a house that felt wrong. The air smelled different. Cinnamon? Maybe vanilla? I looked around. And then I saw it. The floral settee was back. I swear to God. Right in the middle of the living room. Like it had never left. I stood there frozen. My suitcase still in my hand. My mouth just open. Then I noticed the rug was different too. My beige wool rug? Rolled up and replaced with that ugly, forest green monstrosity that Susan claimed really hides stains. And the books I'd arranged on the shelves? All reorganized. Color-coded. With new family photos inserted in between. Of Mark and Susan. Of their wedding. One of them holding baby Mark with a note on the frame, the day I became a mother. I couldn't move. My whole body went hot. I called Mark immediately. He didn't pick up. I called again. Voicemail. Third time, he finally answered. I didn't even say hello. What? The hell? Is in my living room? There was a pause. Then he said the words that made me question everything. I thought we could compromise. I had to sit down. I actually had to sit down. Mark, did your mom come in again? Silence. She brought a few things while you were gone, he said. She thought it would be easier if she talked to me one-on-one. You were getting so defensive. She manipulated you, I said. She waited until I was gone. She just wants to be part of our life, he replied. She wants to help. No, I said. She wants control. She's not helping, she's taking over. And that's when I realized the twist I hadn't seen coming. It wasn't just her anymore. It was him too. He was letting her. And not because he didn't know better, but because a part of him wanted it. Wanted the comfort of being the golden boy again. Wanted his childhood home recreated in his adult life. Wanted me to play along like it was all fine. That night, I stayed in a hotel. I needed space. Not just from Susan, but from Mark. I didn't know who he was anymore. The next morning, I got a text. We need to talk. I didn't want to tell you this before, but she offered to help pay off part of the mortgage. If we made the house more family-oriented. I didn't think it was a big deal. She bribed him. She bribed him. To put her furniture in our home. To have a say in what went where. To play decorator. To control our marriage. This wasn't just about ugly couches anymore. This was about ownership. Power. And Susan had found her way in through her son. That's when I decided I needed help. I called a lawyer. Not for divorce. Not yet. But to ask what my options were if one co-owner starts making unauthorized changes to a shared property. Because I wasn't going to let this spiral into a full takeover. And what I found out. That's where the next twist hit. Turns out my name wasn't on the house. Let that sink in. We bought the house together. I paid for half the down payment. I signed the checks. I picked the real estate agent. I walked every room. But when the paperwork was finalized, Mark had signed it alone. He never added me to the title. And guess who the notary was? George. His dad. I double-checked everything. The email thread, the closing documents, the deed. All in Mark's name. I felt sick. I confronted him that night. Why isn't my name on the deed? He looked genuinely confused. I thought it didn't matter, he stammered. We're married. It's the same thing. No, Mark. It's not the same. It means if I walk away tomorrow, I walk away with nothing. I didn't do it on purpose, he said. My dad handled the paperwork. He said it would be faster this way. Oh, I said, dead calm. So now we're trusting both your parents with legal decisions that affect my entire life? He didn't answer. And just like that, the house, the one I dreamed about for years, started to feel like a trap. Not a home. And I started making a new plan. After I found out my name wasn't on the deed, everything changed. I wasn't just angry. I was scared. All this time I thought I was building a life with my husband. I thought we were partners. I thought we had each other's backs. Instead, I was living in a house I had no legal claim to, with a man who let his mommy sneak in while I was gone and decorate our home like it was a goddamn shrine to the past. I was done playing nice. But I didn't scream. I didn't throw things. I didn't even move out. I made a new plan. Step 1. Play along. For a full month, I acted like I was coming around. I told Mark he was right, that I'd been too harsh with his mom. I even invited Susan over for coffee one afternoon, just the two of us. She brought muffins. Store-bought. She smiled like she'd won. I knew you'd see it my way, she said, stirring her tea. Oh, I smiled. I see it now. Clear as day. Step 2. Gather proof. Over the next few weeks, I documented everything. Every change Susan made. Every time she used a key to drop in. Every time Mark referred to the house as mine instead of ours. I recorded conversations. Took photos. Collected emails. I made a neat little file labeled, "The Real Homeowners." Then I called a friend who worked in real estate law. Explained the whole story. She was pissed for me. She told me something important. Even though my name wasn't on the deed, if I could prove I paid into the house financially and helped maintain it, I might have legal standing. Especially in a divorce. That's when I knew what I had to do. Step 3. Get out. On my terms. I didn't want to fight for the house anymore. Not because I couldn't, but because I didn't want it. I didn't want the settee. The cinnamon air freshener. The floral rug. The mother-in-law with a key and no shame. Let them have it. But not without a price. I made Mark sign a separation agreement before I left. Told him I wanted half of what I'd put in, plus something extra for emotional damages. He laughed. At first. Until I showed him the file. The photos. The texts. The legal notes. The recordings of Susan saying things like, she'll come around once she learns her place. Then he stopped laughing. He paid. I walked away with enough money to start over. Not rich, not even close. But enough. And now for the revenge. I waited until I found a new place, small apartment, downtown, perfect for me. Then I posted everything on a local Facebook group. You know the kind. Neighbors of West Suburban Chicago, those busybody threads where everyone shares gardening tips and dog photos. I wrote a post called, "What Happens When You Let Your Mother-in-Law Decorate Your Marriage?" And I told it all. Every juicy detail. With photos. Of the settee. Of the rug. Of Susan snooping through my drawers when she thought no one was watching. It went viral. Hundreds of comments. Dozens of shares. And guess who saw it? Mark's new girlfriend. Oh yeah, he moved on fast. A preschool teacher named Bree. Sweet, smiley, soft-spoken. I could tell from her profile pictures she didn't stand a chance against Susan. She messaged me. Asked if it was all true. I said, "Want to see the video of her organizing my underwear drawer?" We grabbed coffee. Compared stories. Guess what? Susan was doing it again. Same couch. Same rug. Same fake smile. Even brought over the same photo of baby Mark. This time, though, Bree had a warning. And Susan? She lost it. Tried to deny everything. Called me a bitter ex. Called Bree ungrateful. Tried to play the victim again. Only this time, no one believed her. Mark was stuck in the middle, again. Only now, everyone saw who he really was, a grown man too afraid to tell his mommy no. And me? I got my freedom. My peace. My story. Yeah, I made mistakes. I should have checked the deed. Should have stood up sooner. Should have walked away before I let it eat me alive. But in the end, I walked out stronger. And Susan? She still has her furniture. But now, she sits on it alone.